Well, good morning guys. It is a very brisk morning. Bit of a shock to the system. We're at the start of November and we should be ramping up into summer, but it's actually I think about 15 degrees Celsius or something like that, and enough to bring out the jumper for us that are used to warmer weather. So yeah, it's very strange weather, but anyway, it is absolutely saturated out there, so we've got a few jobs to do while we wait for it to dry out. We've got the header number 1 parked there. It needs another big hydro hose put on it. We've got it there. Yeah, it was just leaking a bit, the one that was on there. The genuine ones are actually pretty cheap considering, so yeah, I think it might even be cheaper than getting one made up. And yeah, so hopefully the genuine one will be good. So there's that, and just a couple other things to need tuning up on it and checking out, but yeah, not a lot. Now, this is the main news today. What I might do is, you guys probably haven't seen this, but I did take footage of when we first picked it up and it explained a few things, so we might shoot back and show a bit of that footage. Picking something up today. It doesn't look like much because it's all in pieces, but I will explain what is happening. So it's kind of been a thought of ours that it would be handy to have another compressor. We've got the old Airman compressor that we use. We did up quite a few years ago now, and we've been using it. But with the dozers and the headers, it'd be handy to have a couple of them at a time. So we were wondering what to do, and the local dealer here for the Atlas Copco compressors had a bit of an idea. There was one that had been run over by a cotton picker, and it was just not, and he didn't have the time to fix it. It was just gonna probably sit in the shed for quite a few months before anyone got to it. So he suggested that we might be able to, if we took it, fixed it up and used it, whatever, then we'd have the option to buy it later, or whatever, get reimbursed for the time we spent on it if we decide we don't want to go this way, but at least it would be put together then. It was hit from the front, so yeah, there was a couple of bits and pieces that that needed to be replaced, but virtually it should all just need to be assembled, which is just a labour thing obviously. So I think it'll be pretty exciting to get it going. So this model here, as you can see there, it's a XAS 185, so that's a 185 CFM. So yeah, it's a good size just for a farm. We don't need anything too crazy, just for blowing down headers and dozers and things. So that's going to be really good. The other compressor we've got, it does struggle in the heat a bit, whereas these are actually a Deutz motor. They're oil cooled, so they're not. They don't have the normal radiator. So that is, from what I hear in the bit of research I've done, it's these are the go. These are the bee's knees. So there was a few brackets here that were broken. The engine mount was broken, but that's all been modified to fix that up. So that side of things is all sorted. Everything else, I think, just might need a little bit of modifying here and there, but it should be good. It's all just bolt together. We do have my uncle Ian, which is Dad's brother. He's come over and he's putting the jigsaw together. He's also put together the little frame it sits on. So that is good. We can just, won't be too long. We should be able to mount that straight onto this. It hasn't done many hours. I think it might be it'd probably be 7 years old or something. One last job before we knock off. So we're going to try and put this compressor on the little trailer. So I'll stick it on time lapse and we'll see how we go, see how easy it is. back here on this eventful day. A couple things happening. I actually haven't grabbed the camera this morning, but the mother bin here, this is the homemade one that's 20 or 25 years old or something like that. Yeah, the shaft for the steering was twisted, so Brad's working out how to fix that. We've got the main news, which is I think we're ready to fire up this Atlas Copco compressor. So Uncle Ian's been working on it yesterday and a bit of today, and we've got the two chiefs over here waiting.
We're just relaxing, waiting for you to finish your movie star material.
Don't know about that. You're the movie star.
No. I'm just the assistant. And he's the assistant's assistant.
So we've got new battery. We've got all the hoses connected. We've got oil for the compressor. We've got engine oil. It doesn't have any coolant because it's oil cooled. We had to just clean out the tank because the tank must have been sitting for a while and had a bit of algae in it. So that's all cleaned out mostly, and I'm pretty sure we're all good. That belt's tight, so got to figure out how to start it. Do you know the rundown? I guess they got this here. It says to start. I think you got to open one of these valves. Oh, so that's glow there. So I'm not sure what that button does. Maybe we should read the manual. Hands clear.
Yep.
High five, eh? Righto. We'll just got to top up the compressor oil because it was a new radiator or oil cooler. That would have all been filled, so I don't want to run it for too long without topping this up. Oh, I got some smoke coming off the new exhaust. I think that's enough success to go and have some lunch, eh?
I think so. That's cool.
That is very, very good. Beautiful.
And it wouldn't have happened without my little brother here.
Your little big brother.
Yeah, no, he came over and helped us come over from the coast, and because he could just concentrate on this and he wasn't conflicted, was he, with a whole heap of different...
I was just letting God love me.
So it's on this little trailer now. We've got some mismatched rims, but depends which side you look at it.
He fit in well here, brother. Fit in well.
Well, I think it's time to put the cover on the air compressor. So we've had it running a couple more times and everything seems to be really good. So we'll put the big yellow cover on and she'll nearly be done, I think. So we do have the Deutz here, and while the wet weather's here, I've got to replace the evaporator on that. Josiah's here doing a bit of cleaning. It's looking good, I think. So that will be good to get a bit of the shed tidied up too. That always happens when it's wet. But we've got the evaporator should be here. This box here should be the evaporator. So I've got a receiver dryer, I hope I do, anyway, as well. And we are going to replace this. So you can see there, it's all oily. And yeah, what happened was yeah, I can't remember who was driving it, but said they could smell gas. So that generally means it's from the evaporator, and that tells me it definitely is. So you can see once you get a bit of a leak, then it attracts all the dust and dirt and blocks it all up, and yeah, it's not good. So anyway, got a new evaporator. It didn't actually take too long to get here. It's more finding the time to do it, and yeah, it was pretty expensive. I think it was a bit over $2,000 Australian, that is, but it's not too bad considering what the price of things are these days. Actually, I will just climb back up here and show you something. Most evaporators are painful to get to. This is possibly one of the best designs I've seen for being able to get to the evaporator and work on it, replace it, clean it, all of that stuff. It is top notch. So it is a Denso system, which is, yeah, I do like them. And all the air conditioning systems I've done, this is probably by far the easiest evaporator I've had to pull out. There's literally some screws that go on this cap, and then you've got 5 screws to put this panel over the top, and that's it, and you can get to it. All I got to do is undo the TX valve here. I might just pull that resistor out just so it doesn't hit it, and then that just slides out. New one in, all new O-rings. I've got to do I've got to replace the receiver dryer as well, and vac it down probably for an hour or so, just because it's a little bit humid. There's a little bit of moisture about, so then regas it and we'll be done. Actually, while I had a moment, I did test the old evaporator here, just to make sure. I blew some air through it while it was submerged in water, and there were bubbles coming from it. So I was pretty certain, but it's always good to just double check that. Righto, we're up to the fun part. So we've got to vac the system down. So the whole aircon system has got to be in a vacuum, and if it's really humid or whatever, the longer you leave it the better. But probably I'm going to do this and then go have lunch, I think, and then come back and it should be all good. Then switch it off for a bit and check that it's not leaking, check that it holds vacuum, and then we can suck some gas through. So we better get into it. I'm getting hungry. So I'll put that under there, pull that off, find a PowerPoint which is right there. It's not quite long enough. That's annoying. Find a chair. With a broken leg. Old faithful chairs that can probably go to the tip, or someone might fix it. This one. That's better. Check we got oil. Yep, oil's good. Fire up. The other thing I got to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of oil in the system, because obviously when there was a leak there, a bit of oil comes out, so won't need much, but righto, well, it's all held. Vacuum's held at the same spot for about, I left it for about 20 minutes or so. So it should be right to jam the gas in. Better just zero that.
He's working.
You caught me working.
He's working.
That's good. We've got gas going in. So I'll probably, once the main bulk of the gas has gone through, I'll start it up and suck the rest through, I think. We're still sucking it through. This takes a bit of time. Sometimes it'll cycle in and out, so we'll get there and we'll give it a try in a minute. A low pressure side is the compressor's kicking in and out, so you can see the compressor's kicked in, so that's dropping down. That's pretty good. So it's cycling pretty quick, which means the evaporator is at the correct temp and it's kicking out, so we'll see if it's blowing cold air. Yeah, that feels cold to me. Oh, all I've got to do is put that little lid on the front, on the top, and I think we're all done.